All right, Sean, we got Netflix. Today's price is at 223. This is what definitely one of those darlings that if you would have got in the early 2000s, you're super happy right now. I ended up actually listening to the book by I think it was I'm not sure it was Reed Hastings or Mark Maruda or Randolph, but I think it was Mark actually. Either way, he wrote about how I think they offered Netflix to Blockbuster for a super cheap, and
Wow.
Blockbuster rejected it,
Turn them down, huh?
turned them down. Um,
Too steep for their blood.
yeah, exactly. I think it was like 8 billion or something like that, or even less than that. Something super cheap. Might have even been like 80 million, or I don't know. I forgot. Either way, they're at 99 billion, so they're about $100 billion company. I mean, at their peak, they were 200 billion, and it just seemed like it could never go down. Um, yeah, this is again one of those companies that, well, I mean, definitely benefited from COVID.
Yeah, this is one of those COVID plays for sure. I mean, everyone's locked up at home, but I mean, it was thriving even before then.
Yeah, it went from 300 to all the way, like I said, almost 700, and it just seemed like it couldn't go down, and now it's even below from the COVID numbers or pre-COVID. It
Well,
has to be because Disney caught up and everyone else caught up.
so Disney caught up. They launched, Disney Plus, and they've lost content. They've lost a lot of favorite shows that people had to other platforms, and they need to develop more content. Some of it's been phenomenal. Some of it is not, and production on a lot of it's, regardless, stopped over the pandemic. So they're not bringing out new content, only stuff that they already had in the pipeline. And I think subscriber growth recently dropped for the first time ever, which was a huge shock. And they've been embroiled in some, controversies with the woke crowd. So it's a
Yeah,
lot of press that they don't really want. And I think they're trying to turn things around. And I think they are starting to do that.
yeah. I mean, they tried the whole studio phase, and they've been successful in that in many shows. But
But
I
they
think
got burned too. I
yeah,
mean,
it's expensive to go to studio route, and that's where I mean, I guess they're trying to keep up, and they went from just being Netflix or post blockbuster company to not trying to be Universal
do
Studios.
you remember 10 years ago when they stopped shipping people DVDs and how mad everybody got and they were going to cancel their Netflix subscriptions? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
When they split it off into two different companies,
Yep.
the streaming, and everyone just lost their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, in that sense, they were visionary. They were right. The people were wrong. The population was wrong.
Right.
And they were right. They started really a whole new platform of streaming
Yeah,
that
according
we
to
had
Reed
never
and
seen
Mark,
before.
they always knew that. They knew that they weren't going to be a DVD shipping company. Because again, just shipping just costs too much. They always wanted to be a streaming service. And they have it right. It's just they just got too big, I think. And now the question is, can they go back to even like 600 or 700, even 1,000? They might be able to, but I just feel like again, Disneyland or Disney, they know what they're doing. At this point, they're about half of Disney, which is still respectable for Netflix. Uh, but I think Disney's worth 5 times more, not more. I don't think Disney should only be double Netflix.
Well, let's take a look at some of the fundamentals. I mean, let's take a look. Netflix, okay, their stock's way down, but their price earnings ratio is 19.88. That's within the stratosphere of like a normal PE ratio. It's a little high, but it's not like, I mean, Netflix, their last 5 years, the minimum PE ratio 15.10, max 279.7. Average of 106.82, median of 89.36. I mean, just absurd astronomical numbers that had no grounding in reality in terms of the underlying fundamentals of the company. And now it's at a point where it is sort of in the realm of reality, and it is within the strike zone of the fundamentals, the underlying fundamentals. So maybe Netflix is something to think about.
Yeah, possibly,
But they're taking a hit from the post-pandemic rebound for sure, because now people want to get out and they've been watching Netflix for 2 years and they don't want to do it anymore. So they're taking a hit.
If you have kids, it's easy to just hop on YouTube or hop on Disney. It's easy if you have kids. I think now you still got the cult following that just watches every Netflix show that comes out. But as far as like attracting a new crowd or attracting the youngsters that are watching Disney Plus, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be as easy.
That's definitely gonna
blockbuster.
That's definitely going to peel away some of their subscribers. But wouldn't you think though that the subscribers, many of them would just have both services? I mean, I don't know.
No, I don't think that people in America or anywhere think that that's just going to be simple. I think people do value their dollar, and they're just like, my kid's watching Disney and YouTube, the entire day. Why am I going to get Netflix for myself? Like, and I'm telling you, the only reason a lot of people still have Netflix is because they're that cult following that like to watch the new show,
the murder documentaries.
Yeah, whatever comes out, the Tiger King or.
Well, and that's just it. And they need to keep up with creating more content. I mean, remember, like in the last 10 years, what did they have? Like Orange is the New Black. What happened with that? Nobody cares. Stranger Things blew up, but it kind of has started to fizzle out too. But they need to keep producing more content. And some of the content they've generated has been phenomenal. They're producing documentaries that have cult followings. They're producing, but they need to keep up with it and continue to produce content. I mean, but I guess looking at the long-term big picture here, the stock is finally back in the realm of like reality.
Yeah, it definitely is. But is that a good or bad thing?
Well, that's a good question. That's $1 million question.
$1,000. You're gonna buy 4 shares of Netflix?
Again, and I've been saying this, going into a period of volatility provides opportunities for bargain hunting. Do I buy it now? No. But do I keep my eyes open in the next 6 months? Yeah, I do. Because I think the fundamentals are a lot more sound than they have ever been with this company. And they've become disfavored, but maybe for good reason. And usually that's where the opportunities are, is when companies fall out of favor. This is a strong company that's going to continue to make money.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think every early investor is trying to find the next Netflix. This is a great company. If you would have bought it pre-2010, you're sitting pretty happy right now. And this is like, no, you don't. Actually,
during the peak.
One of them did. I forget. I think it was Mark. One of the founders did sell a lot of their stake, and of course, it sold it for a lot of money, tens of millions. But now, I mean, that would have been worth tens of billions. So yeah, you want to find the next Netflix. It's just like, again, it's the darling of stocks. Everybody always says, "Oh yeah, let's get the next Netflix."
I do think they're taking a post-pandemic beating, like a lot of these other pandemic plays, and that's maybe not a bad thing. That they were out of control. Their prices to earnings, the price to earnings was out of control. It just it wasn't, the underlying fundamentals weren't there to warrant the price, and now they are. So this is a buying opportunity for Netflix.
You like it then, huh?
I like it, but I think it's possible to get better returns elsewhere. But we don't know what's going to happen. They could bounce back from the pandemic lull and do okay. They could, in a recession, what are people going to do? They're going to stay home and watch Netflix. Maybe they benefit from things in the broader economy going south. So it's hard to say.
Yeah, we'll see.